As I said about the brain, in the brain we have blood-brain barrier. It's a system. You know, brain, small brain. You know how much does it weigh? You never weighed it, I think. 1400 grams. All right, and all of us have our brains. Sometimes our teachers in the school, they'll tell you, you don't have brains. We can take a scan and show to her or show to him, I have a brain. And this small little brain, you know, female brain is little less smaller than the male brain. And that does not mean men are very happy, but the size does not matter, you see. Because if the size determines the intelligence, elephant must be more intelligent than we are. Because elephant's brain is 6 kilograms of weight, okay? So size doesn't matter, alright? It all depends how we use it. In fact, the first day I told how the female brain is much better than the male brain. Now, our brain has two hemispheres, right and left, and women tend to use both the hemispheres, whereas men use only one. And because women use both, they can store more data, and because they have more data, they keep talking always. Because they have things to talk. Whereas men don't observe, and they don't have anything to talk. If they come, how is the weather? Yeah, it's -6 today. All right. Then what is Obama saying? He says good night. Okay. Only that much. There is nothing more to act. No? Then we going with the cell phone or TV. All right. Whereas women, they have enough and more, because the brain, they have the capacity to register more data. That's why if two women talk for 1 minute, if you ask them, suppose if two men talk to each other for 1 hour, afterwards we ask the man, what is the color of the shirt the other man? Was he wearing any shirt at all? Whereas we ask two women after talking for 1 minute, they will give the details of the earring, the color, the hair, and the dress, and the shoes. That shoes actually she bought it for last Christmas, you know. She knows that also. And if you ask the man which standard grade your child is in, I think it is 7th or 8th. Last year she was in the 7th grade. I don't know about this year. If you ask the mother which grade your child is in, she will say she is in the grade 7 and the section is C. She is sitting in the 3rd row in the classroom, and her close friend is Jim. And Jim's father is the income tax commissioner, and he helps lots of people. And you know, her class teacher, that Josephine, actually 2 marriages failed. This is the 3rd marriage now. So you just ask the mother about the child's class. She gives the details of the friend and the class teacher and how many marriages she has seen. And that is the power of women. And we need to appreciate it. We need to be grateful to nature, to God, because if the mother is also like the father, the children will be affected. I know men will be angry with me, but that's the case. All right. So the brain, female brain, is much better in many ways. And you know, man's hormones X, Y, and woman's hormones XX. This Y chromosome is an empty chromosome, they say. Only 100 genes are found, whereas X chromosome has 1500 genes. And XX chromosome, women have 1500, 3000 genes, whereas men 1500 plus 100, only 1600 genes. And that is why they can have easily genetic adaptability. That is why it is a fact that more children, male babies, are born with genetic defects compared to the female babies. Now we can give a number of examples. So at least women are 15 times better than men. Alright? So we can lift up your collars if you have one. Alright. So coming back to the brain, but this fact is for both, okay? For both male brain and female brain. Maybe we can have another session on this male brain and female brain. Okay. This brain has 400 miles of blood vessels, providing nutrients and fuel and oxygen while removing waste and excess heat. So just a handful of the grey matter, 1400 grams, it has 400 miles long blood vessels, and that provides everything. Yeah. And there are capillaries in these vessels, which also comprise what is called blood-brain barrier, a protective network unique to the central nervous system. Anyway, to cut this long story short, we can go to the slides 36. And this blood barrier system is affected when the stress is increased. So which means the filtering is not taking place. Which means the oxygen and nutrients are not given properly to the brain. At the same time, the poison and the toxic materials are not removed from the brain. Again, the brain is under danger. Okay? So when the BBB, blood-brain barrier system is affected, this is the bad consequence that we have in the brain. Anyway, we come to the second one, types of stress, eustress and distress. What is this eustress? It is a positive stress. Yeah. It is not defined by the cause of the stress, but rather how we perceive that cause as a negative threat or a positive challenge. Sometimes you face an interview and you can take that interview to prove your ability, and I want to show to the world, to the others, how can I perform well and get the job, etc. You take it as a positive challenge. On the other hand, you may take it as a negative threat also. So it all depends how you view that situation. Eustress refers to a positive response one has to stressor, which depends on one's current feelings of control, desirability, location, and timing of the stressor. So eustress helps us to handle it positively. Indicators of eustress are the ability to respond to stressor with a sense of meaning, hope, and vigor. And also it is related to the general satisfaction that we have with life and general well-being of our life. So that's called eustress, which is a positive thing which can maximize, optimize our performance, as the next slide shows. See, eustress, the productivity and the stress. The green level is the eustress, there the performance becomes the maximum. But when it crosses the thin red margin, it becomes distress. So the same factor can become a source of fatigue, discouragement, and we end up with burnout, and our productivity comes to zero. So eustress is the ability to see it positively, and the distress will be just the opposite, negative. The biggest source of stress is we, because it all depends how we look at it. It's not my husband or wife, my children or my boss or the priest who is giving homilies. But what we tell ourselves about ourselves and about the situation we find ourselves in. We cannot control every potential stressor that occurs in our lives, regardless of its source, but only we can control our reaction to it. If you are finding someone violating the traffic rules and giving stress, now you cannot control that person, X, Y, Z, but I can control how I react to that situation. If someone overtakes me or someone unnecessarily honks, we get immediately tensed and we get angry, our emotions are going up. Now I should ask myself, why should I allow that fellow, whoever it may be, I have not even seen in my life, I will never see that person in my life perhaps, and why should I allow that person to control my emotions? I should be the master of my own emotions. So if I have that positive dealing, then that event will not cause stress to me. Isn't it? So the biggest source of stress is we. Yeah. You can read. Stress is desert spelled backwards, but don't turn the plate, the cake will fall down. Okay. Now a small test to find out whether you are under stress. I know you are not because you are smiling and giggling, so you are not under stress, but still, you take your hand like this, thumb and four fingers, like this, and bring to your neck, not the other person's neck, and you're always ready to catch, And you just see whether it is warm or cold. Is it warm? Yeah. Or cold, good. If it is warm, you are not under stress. If it is cold, you are under stress. Okay? So any stressful moment, you can check immediately whether it is, again, your throat, not the other. Okay, so this is a small test. Okay, exploring stress with regard to recognizing the symptoms and understanding the causes. It's a big thing, we'll just quickly move. Yeah. My stress symptoms, okay, this is for the exercise. Next slide, please. These are the stress symptoms. There are several symptoms: physical symptoms, behavioral symptoms, emotional symptoms, mental symptoms, and spiritual symptoms. Some of things may be overlapping, and these are the organs in our body where it is affected by stress. As I said, brain and the nerves, muscles, joints, our shoulder gets very tightened up, and heart, stomach, pancreas, intestine, and reproductive system. These are the major organs or locations where, which are affected by stress very badly. And physical symptoms: tightness in neck and shoulders, tightness in scalp and forehead, sweaty palms and feet, increased blood pressure, rapid or shallow breathing, butterflies in the stomach. Sometimes we feel like running to the restroom, and that is because of the stress, and cramps, low back pain, and feelings of nervousness, dizziness, nausea, indigestion, disturbed sleep patterns. Unfortunately, in Canada, 1 out of 5 suffers from these sleeping disorders. Recent statistics shows either they are mentally disturbed, some sort of disturbance, or they sleeping disorders. 1 out of 5, it's a huge percentage, 20% in the society. Arms feel heavy and weak, and dry mouth, increased muscle tension, muscle aches, tightness in chest, and flushed face, loss of appetite, heart palpitations, chest pain, tension, headaches, diarrhea, constipation. See, both can take place because of stress. Numbness or tingling in parts of body, frequent colds, loss of sex drive, automatic release of sugars and fats into the bloodstream, suppression of the immune system, cold hands and feet, mood changes, skin irritations, frequent infections. All these can be physical symptoms. And these are some of the pictures where we find people suffering with stress, headache and neck, shoulder pain, etc. And these are the parts of the body again. Yes, next. My doctor told me to avoid any unnecessary stress, so I did not open his bill. But the doctor will be in stress now. Yeah. Now, behavioral symptoms. When we are under stress, our behavior also changed. Inability to sit still, making silly mistakes too often, nagging, foot tapping, restlessness, change in tone of voice, avoiding people, isolating yourself, using alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, unnecessary crying. Sometimes we don't know why we cry, and overeating or rushed eating, sleeping too much or too little. Both can happen as a result of stress. Loss of appetite, change in grooming habits, nail biting, stuttering or quivering voice, neglecting responsibilities, angry outbursts. These are all behaviors. Okay? You can press again. Yeah, a cat under stress. You must feed it properly. Yeah. Emotional symptoms: irritable, short-tempered, self-doubt, nervousness, apathy, indifference, boredom, and angry, and feeling guilty, anxious, apprehensive, excessive fear, more fussy, confused, worry about the future, oversensitive, declining sense of humor, defensive, moodiness, agitation, inability to relax, sense of loneliness, isolation, frustrations, depression, general unhappiness, feeling overwhelmed, feeling drowned. All these things are symptoms. Yeah, next. Yeah, this also can happen. Then mental symptoms, cognitive symptoms. We can go fast. Excessive focus, details stuck in the past. I should have done this, she should have done that, should not have done that. If only my life was like that. Or ifs and buts. All these things will come up when we are under stress. Forgetfulness, inability to focus, concentrate, indecisiveness, self-criticism, and anxious or racing thoughts, loss of interest, disturbing dreams, memory problems, difficulty to remember, poor or impaired judgment, seeing only the negative, constant worrying, hasty decisions. Yeah, all these things can become the symptoms. Then spiritual symptoms, a sense of emptiness. No? We find often when this stress going on, and spiritually we find loss of meaning in life. That's why Viktor Frankl, you may note down this name, Viktor Frankl, he says, we are free to make meaning in life. Nobody can control that freedom. One may bind me with all chains and things like that, put me in a room and bind me externally, remove all the freedom, but still if I'm able to find meaning in my life, I can still live. For instance, Nelson Mandela, he was in the prison for 27 years. One could easily become depressed and lose the orientation, sense of meaning in life, but he could do that. This Viktor Frankl also was under Nazi camp and concentration camp, and his own family members were killed, but still somehow he could keep hopes alive, and he was encouraging other prisoners to be alive, to be hopeful, and he came out of the prison and wrote logotherapy, etc. You can check. Viktor Frankl. Okay, so loss of meaning in life is a spiritual symptom. Becoming unforgiving, loss of sense of direction and purpose, lack of faith in divinity. Yes, so these are the symptoms. Now understanding the causes of stress. Some of the elements, what are the causes? Next. 5 general categories. Biological causes, mental or physical, illness, being blind or breaking an arm, injuries, chronic pain, health problems affecting me and my family. These are the biological causes, can give stress. And environmental causes, noise, crowding, pollution, natural disaster, challenges, etc. And then cognitive causes, the way you perceive and handle the situation. As I said, any situation, it's not a stress in itself. It all depends how I perceive it. And the negative reactions of the mind and body caused by tobacco, alcohol, other drugs, or lack of physical activity. Yeah. Personality problems, threat to self-image, loneliness, boredom, discrimination, physical threats. These are the physical causes. And then life situation causes. As I said, maybe some death of a dear one in life, a divorce of a marriage, situations with peers, conflicts or troubled relationships, time pressures, family problems, family responsibilities, financial problems, constant worry, work stress, task demands, role demands, tight deadlines, school, exams, homework deadlines, excessive change, and poor time management. All these things life-related, life situation causes. Now we know some of the symptoms, some of the causes. Now we'll see some tips how to manage this stress. Poor lady, she has to manage with so many things, you see, at the time. Healthy ways to cope with stress for body, for mind, and emotions. As I said, not all the ways are healthy. You see how he's saying, all I said to her was, you ought to remove the cause of your stress, and she kicked him out. And this is not a very healthy way for her to remove the stress. Okay? Right. Practical tips to cope with stress. There are 101 ways. Of course, I'm not going to deal with all 101 ways. That will put you in unnecessary stress. We can go to 85. Yes. And we can check in the internet, actually, these 101 ways of dealing with stress. And I'm going to condense all these 101 ways to 10 ways, 10 tips, as Jesus gave the 10 commandments into 2 commandments, right? And this is a website. This will be available. You can get it easily. Yeah, next. I'll summarize them into 10 tips, okay? Yes, this is the result of stress. Sometimes you put the pen and we'll be looking for the pen. Again you write another pen, again you put it in your, right? Yes. Make time to relax and engage in hobbies. This is the first way to manage stress. Make time to relax and engage in hobbies. Relaxing exercises, listening to soothing music, swimming, taking a hot bath, answering a long pending call, making a courtesy call, paying a visit to the sick, lonely, elderly. You know, when we pay a visit to such people, it's not only you are giving something to them, you also gain something back in life. No? Now you have a sense of satisfaction. I have used this time meaningfully. No? It's, of course, it's a question of spending some time on your part or spending the money for your gas, etc. But it's worth it. No? They appreciate it, and when you give that satisfaction to them, we also get it back. Setting time for hobbies and other interests. Oftentimes we say no time. No? If we have the very good time management, we can easily find time for all these things. Reading, gardening, replaying letter, knitting, playing games, sports, working on crafts, volunteering at hospitals, homes, assisting people. This again can happen in our family life situation. Oh, Matthew, you have put the clean nappies with the dirty ones. And he says, listen, I'm tired. I have had no sleep and mistakes are going to happen. Can you see what is holding in his hand? He's keeping the baby upside down. And applying the powder at the wrong place. Okay, gaze at the rising sun every morning. Some of us have never seen the sun rising because when we get up, already the sun is up there. Especially our youngsters, our youth. They see only the sun setting down, but they do not know when the sun coming up. Yeah. And lie down in a quiet place and watch the clear sky or the clouds drifting by. So we need not look for every time to go for a vacation to enjoy all this. Is the place where we are, in our own lawn, in our own backyard. We can put the chair and relax and see. Appreciate the beauty of nature. Every petal of a flower, every dewdrop has plenty of things to tell us. And oftentimes just we take it for granted. So appreciating nature also can give us a great relief. And talk to your pet. Some of us talk to only the pets. That's also not good. You can talk to your people also. Sing or hum your favorite tune. Even if you are not a good singer, at least bathroom singer, we can go and sing there. Yes. So